For sister missionaries, I would say something that's important is to try to look good, and by that I mean putting on makeup and painting your fingernails, because Brazilians really care a lot about that. One of my companions told me I wasn't fully dressed unless my fingernails were painted. So that's something to kind of fit into the culture that you might want to do. Some light makeup is nice also. If you put on a lot, you'll probably sweat it off, but a light makeup is nice because some of the churches there actually prohibit women from wearing makeup, so some women are happy to know that in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we are allowed to wear makeup, so it can be helpful just to wear that to show people that those are things that we're allowed to do. I'd say when you're packing, just make sure you've got a lot of clothes that are not too high maintenance, nothing that really needs very much dry cleaning or ironing, because it's easier not to worry about all of that. I didn't see too many dry cleaners around. And I'd say also bring clothes you're willing to trade with other sisters. You'll get sick of your clothes and you'll want to trade for something different. And the sisters there will love to trade their clothes because everybody's feeling the same thing. You kind of get sick of the same old skirts that you've got, the same old shirts you've got. So you can trade those around, and that's fun to do, and then you can bring home something to remember one of your companions by. And I'd say it's also important to put your hair up, because I got lice on my mission because I would wear my hair down a lot, and that gives a way for the lice to get in your hair and on your head. In some of the cities, there's a lot of people that have lice, especially the poorer cities. So after that, I started wearing my hair always in a braid or something where it was pinned up. It's good for the heat because it will help keep your head cooler, and also it will help you maybe not get lice so much. Some safety tips around there. You want to make sure that you don't drink the tap water. If you're getting water from a member's house, make sure it's actual drinking water and not just the tap water. Brazilians don't always react to it as much, but every American I knew who drank the tap water would get really sick. So it's important to make sure you're drinking good water. And it's also important to make sure you keep your feet really clean. Some of the streets there are pretty dirty. In some of the cities that I was in, they didn't really have any paved roads. They were dirt roads, and they would collect a lot of garbage and dirt and other things. And a lot of the sewage lines there are just open, so when it floods, the sewage gets everywhere. So you make sure you keep your feet clean so you don't get some weird infections in your feet, because sometimes that happens with people. It's also important to not be distracted when you're walking around, because that's what people who want to rob you will look for. They'll look for you being distracted. So it's good to walk usually at a relatively quick pace just to get where you're going and avoid areas that don't have a lot of light at nighttime. And I'd say just make sure that you're listening to the Spirit always. That's one of the most important things. The Spirit will help you know where you need to go or where you don't need to go. For packing, I'd say try to pack in as few suitcases as possible, because for transfers, a lot of times you'll be alone. Sometimes it's on a pretty long bus ride, like overnight, and you'll have to be able to carry all your bags by yourself. I've had transfers where I had to take an 8-hour bus overnight, and I had to have all my suitcases with me and be able to carry it. Sometimes you have to go up and down escalators, and you don't want to leave your stuff sitting around, because if you leave it sitting around, someone will take it. So just try to pack as few suitcases as possible and make sure that you can carry everything you have at one time by yourself. Sometimes if you're lucky, someone else will go on a transfer with you, but for me, every time that I went on a transfer, I was all by myself and had to carry everything by myself. So just pack light and know how to pack well to fit everything in the least amount of space possible. Something important is just remember when you're at the members' houses and they're serving you food, eat as much as you want. Sometimes people are afraid that they'll gain weight on the mission, but from my experience, you won't gain weight if you just eat as much as you want at the members' houses, because you're walking so much. The times that I saw people gain weight is if they stop at every food cart they see to buy some food, because that stuff's usually a lot fattier and fried, but it's delicious, so definitely take the time to stop at least some of them. But I'd say just really don't be worried about any of that. Don't be worried about gaining or losing too much weight. Just enjoy yourself and have fun, and the members love it if you eat a lot of their food, so just go for it and eat as much as you want.